Welcome to the Strategy Mob Podcast, powered by Vitulus. Tune in for everything you need to know to stay in the know regarding the automotive industry. Here's your host, Jason Harris.
Hey, what's going on, Podcast Nation? It is Jason Harris here, and thank you for joining me on another episode of Strategy Mob. Today, I have two very special guests all the way from the other side of the country. Hey guys, thank you so much for taking the time to jam with me. I have both Randy and Wilson from the Your Warranty team. Did I say that correctly?
You did.
Hey, look at that. I don't have to do an intro over again. Yes.
Yeah, you got it. Thanks, Jason.
Hey guys, for everybody out there that's watching and listening right now and kind of don't know who you guys are and kind of how you got started in the industry, if we can start off with the origin story of Randy and Wilson. Randy, I'll let you go ahead and start first.
All right, Jason, I'm not going to bore everybody with where I was born and how many children I have and all that great stuff, but talking to you a little bit about our businesses. We started in the car business. I think both Wilson and I, we started in the car business washing cars. We were lot boys being kicked around by the GMs and the general sales managers all the time. And obviously, we just moved up the ranks, selling cars, working in the finance office. And then I don't know what it was, I guess probably about 12 years ago, I was in the GM crisis situation. And one of the stores had closed. And I was approached by a good friend of mine from Global Warranty. And he said, "Hey, do you want to be a sales representative for Global Warranty?" And I said, "Well, fantastic. That sounds like fun." They flew me out to London, Ontario, and I seemed to pass the interview, so that was cool. And worked with them for a couple of years, and then had 3 years, I should say. And I had an opportunity to work for a company called Coverage One as a sales representative. So I had the British Columbia region, and Coverage One has treated us very well. We still represent that brand, that product, which is a product that is aligned with General Motors Protection Plan. Coverage One is a product that we're able to go to all vehicle makes and models other than GM, Chevrolet, Cadillac, and Buick and Subaru, because GMPP is basically the warranty provider for those brands. So Coverage One, we're able to go to all the other dealerships with that. And then a few years later, we developed something called Your Warranty Team. Wilson and I and our partner, Kerry Rio, started off this thing called Your Warranty Team. We wanted to be different in the industry, Jason. We didn't want to, we wear suits and three-piece suits with ties, and we have a briefcase and all that good stuff, but we really wanted to be different. And so we started off this brand, Your Warranty Team, and really branding it across the country right now, representing a number of products: warranty, road hazard, gap insurance, theft protection, job loss, you name it. A full service, full suite provider for finance offices in the industry. And so we're just going through a real growth phase right now where we have a team of sales professionals, just a fantastic team, all headed up by two strong national sales directors, and including our business coach. So we have an exciting thing going on, Jason. We really do. We got just an amazing group of people. They're all better than me, and just love them all to bits. But they're really eager to make this company grow, and we're really experiencing that at a time like this, where I think a lot of us during this little bit of a situation that we're going through are all getting closer to the people that we love. And, it really makes me get closer to my boys and my family. And obviously the team of sales professionals that we have some real strong connections with them. They're obviously our business family. So just a real special time for all of us right now.
Yeah, I think with any time like this, as bad as it is, there is some opportunities, right? And there's definitely an opportunity for us to reconnect with our clients, to reconnect with our staff and family and friends as well. Hey, Wilson, for yourself, how did you get started into this crazy business that we call the auto industry?
Yeah, actually, you know what? I originally started in Marine, and because it was seasonal out in BC, I ended up switching over and going to work at a Toyota dealership in the Fraser Valley, BC. And
started, as Randy mentioned, in the detail department, worked my way up, ended up in parts and service, got a bit of a fixed ops background before ending up moving out to Calgary, Alberta, and switching over to European cars and going to Volkswagen and working in sales there. And then again, working my way up through sales and sales management and whatnot. I actually got to compete on a national stage for Volkswagen, or international stage for Volkswagen as well in Germany. And so I was with them for 5 years and ended up meeting Randy, and we ended up developing this beast that we call Your Warranty Team now.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. And guys, again, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today. I mean, like our industry has fundamentally changed. And, these series of podcasts that I'm putting together right now is like, I don't want to necessarily just kind of harp and just beat the drum as far as what's going on right now. I think the value and the content that we can put out there is, what will the new norm look like? Because I think we all need to be prepared for it. I mean, you may disagree with me or not, but the bottom line is that it's not going to be business as normal. Right? Nope. Like, we're going to come back from this, and I'm not going to pretend like I know the date, even though I love people are like putting dates. Oh, we'll be back to normal come March 17th. Where the hell did you get that from? Or like, you just pull the date out of your ass and say, like, that sounds like a good day. It's like, look, it could be a couple weeks, it could be a couple months. We have no idea, right? But when we do come back, it is going to be a new normal, and it's not going to be what it was in the past. And that's where I kind of want to start off today's conversation, as far as for you guys and all the dealerships that you guys work with, and the and the connections that you have. How do you guys personally see the new norm is going to be for dealerships? Randy, I'll go ahead and start with you.
Well, I love what you said earlier on, Jason, when you said opportunity. Because that's really what it needs to be. If we decide that this is a situation where we're going to just, lay in our beds and pull the covers over our heads and just hope this is going to go away, I think we need to kind of give ourselves a little bit of a head shake. And I think what we got to do is look at this as an opportunity. And right now, what we're spending a lot of time doing, and especially our sales team, is working on trying to be a solution for dealers and just being available. I think there's been a period of time where we were picking up the phone and try to generate Zoom calls and what have you to understand what the dealer's going through. There's that commiserate and that compassion that we need to have for a period of time. But I think we also need to take a look at the fact that dealerships need to sell cars. We need to be a solution provider for them. We need to find a way to communicate and try to define the new normal. I also like how you called that a new normal, because I think we're going to poke our way through in the dark and find a new normal. I see some great companies out there right now that are forging ahead. They're coming up with some amazing, innovative ideas. The Open Road Auto Group, the Dilawri Group are some great examples of what they're not sitting back at all. They're taking the bull by the horn, so to speak, and finding ways to make this work. Yeah, I think that's what we all have to do. Unless we just decide we're going to stay home and bake muffins all day.
That doesn't sound bad either, though.
No, it doesn't actually.
As long as they send them our way, it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's funny is, I know I'm getting a little sidetracked, and sometimes I do that on these podcasts. But I've been talking to some people, and they're trying to identify like some new opportunities to make a little extra money right now, and like there are just some things that you just would have never thought would be kind of popular again, right? Like I had a buddy of mine call me up and go, "Hey Jay, I found a deal on like 50, do-it-yourself beer kits. I can buy these things for like $30 a piece, and I think we can sell them for $150 each." I'm like, "What are you talking about? You're crazy." He goes, "No, seriously though. What do you think people are going to do for the next 3 or 4 weeks? They can stay at home and make beer."
Right.
I'm like, okay, it's like I gave myself a haircut the other day. That's a new norm for me. So like,
yeah.
It's looking good too, by the way.
Yeah, right, man. It was atrocious. You don't want to see the back. Like I literally took a whole like patch out of the back of my head. So the good thing is podcast, you only see the front. It was bad. I was like, whoop. what the hell did I just do? Anyways, Wilson, what are your thoughts on, man? How do you see the new norm is going to play out, for that first little bit in the automotive industry?
Yeah, well, it's your business is perfectly designed to get the results it's currently getting. So those that are not adapting in this right now are, hey, you're getting the result right now. If you haven't changed, this is the result you're going to get. You have to adapt. You have to change. I think more than ever, the buyer is going to be even more educated, a little bit more cautious on the way they buy. So you're going to have to really have that empathy, the understanding, properly setting up the deal, making sure that customer knows everything about the deal when they are going in, understanding that they are being provided with a quality product and that they can trust the name they're purchasing from. I think moving forward, it's going to be so much more than just buying a manufacturer, but you're buying that dealership, you're buying the experience, you're buying the trust, you're buying everything that goes along with it. My experience in the past is that over time, dealers are really building that kind of membership-like feeling or the experience, and that's going to be the most important thing these days. I think, like Randy mentioned, the Dilawri with the VIP experience. I think people are just going to love that. I personally, for myself, and I'm a car guy, and I flip out of vehicles all day long, but I don't have the time to go into a dealer. If somebody could bring it to me, drop it off, do the entire experience virtually, I'm on board 100%.
You bet.
I mean, personally, I would pay for the experience. I would pay for it.
I pay a dealership to actually pick up my car for service. They drop me off a car. It's an extra fee, right? But I'm on the road all the time. Like, I can't be down. Like, for me to come in and sit in a service department for 3 hours or even an hour, I'm not interested. Like, it's not even a crazy expensive fee. I think they charge me like $50 or $60 or something like that. And it's like, they'll come pick up my car, drop off their car, leave me the keys underneath the mat, and then they'll take my car. And they actually been doing this before this whole thing went down. So that's a normal thing for them. So it's a great process. Now, I do want to, you mentioned something about kind of like having that membership style experience, right? And I think there's two big opportunities here that the dealerships have to identify. That they have to understand that there's going to be a new normal process, all right, to both sales and service. But they also have to understand that what does it mean to do business with them as a brand is going to mean a lot more than it ever has in the past. Like, absolutely, the brand's going to be a big deal, right?
Yeah, the actual dealer brand, not the manufacturer brand.
Yes.
It's going to be huge. And something we do that's very different, and I think this will really help out in a lot of cases, we really listen to our dealers because we understand that the blanket coverage, the blanket sell, the blanket everything is not for every single store. There's lots of product out there, and lots of F&I product and everything like that, but it's not perfect for every store, every customer. So I think the tailored approach right now is going to be so key, making sure that your process is not the exact same as another dealer's process. Like, not everybody can just go and pick up and drop off a car the same way because your clientele is going to look a lot different. Every store has different clientele. And I think that's going to happen right from the actual sales process to the F&I process of going through what products are properly tailored for your clientele, the financing structure, the leasing structure, whatever your portfolio looks like, all the way to the delivery experience. Everything has to be specifically tailored to your type of clientele. I think it's going to be so important moving forward. And salespeople need to be professionals now. It is like, you are absolutely going to. It's professionals now.
We don't have a choice. Like, here's the thing that I find interesting is, and Wilson does a great point, right? But this is something that we're already supposed to be doing. Like, that's not necessarily a new thing, right? Like, we were always supposed to do that. Now I think we're in a place where it's like, we don't have a choice. Like, we have to do that.
Absolutely, yeah.
My next question for you guys is...
That's real positive, isn't it? right?
Well, it is a positive, right, Randy?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's,
yeah.
you know, I think there's good that's going to come out of this. You know, I mean, the fact of the matter is that, you know, we know what our best practice is, you know, for a customer. But for a lot of us, we've kind of ignored that and just still forced them into our process, even though we know
Right.
for a fact that they're not comfortable with that process.
Exactly.
And now we're
yeah.
going to be forced. Like there's not an option, right? The pie just went from this big to this big, right? You know, the amount of people that are going to be buying and buying a vehicle or servicing a vehicle went from here now to here. So there's still people there, but it's like, how do you get them? My next question is from the process itself perspective, right? Let's go in the F&I process, because I still think it is probably one of the hands on the most valuable process for us as a dealership. It is the one that I would say has the most archaic approach. Right? Like it's just,
absolutely.
You know, it's like, hey, I just sold you a car and we're all happy and excited and I'm gonna go stick you in this box. like a did I do something wrong?
I couldn't agree more. You're absolutely correct. And you know, that really comes down to, as I mentioned, like tailoring the experience for your customer. We've you know, there's the menu sell, the step sell, all the different types right now, but then we're still essentially selling a similar product, just mixing it up how it looks, I guess you could say. So, you know, proper tailored experience, make the F&I an experience. I mean, you can come out of a great experience, right? You can make it easy, make it so it speaks to the customer. And that really, to me, is just about listening to the customer and understanding where their pain points are, finding out what upset them on their previous vehicle. Why are they trading in their vehicle? Let's ask them some emotional questions in order to get the actual hard answers out of it, and be able to move forward with, again, that tailored product experience, as opposed to, this is the one we sell everybody. Because I think, as you mentioned,
Wilson, what it sounds like you're saying is that we need to be human.
Exactly.
What? Like we actually have to be like a normal person and have like a normal conversation with another normal human being.
Right.
You know, isn't it nice how this could really refresh things? Like we were saying earlier on, we're going to become professionals because we have to, and I think that's just brilliant. But we can be not just talking to another person, talking to a real person and being real with them.
Yeah.
Like the products that are sold in the finance office are real protection products. It's all how we've looked at it. We're going to put them into the box, right, Jason? And
we're going to sell add-ons.
Yeah, we're going to see. Let's see how much of a home run that we can hit. But let's just change that mentality. You put a whole lot of professionalism, a whole lot of integrity, a whole lot of protection into it, and just speak to the people about it. And don't hide it in a payment. Let's just be fully disclosed with it all. It could be an amazing experience if we explain it with integrity.
Well, a big part
and
of
I think right now that's
go ahead.
Like we have to over communicate the crap out of everything because our process has changed. Our sales process has changed. So much of our sales process now moving forward in the new norm, right? It is going to be very virtual based. Right. I know a lot of F&I managers are having Zoom conversations or FaceTime conversations to go over documentation on the delivery of the vehicle, or they're doing it from a distance. That's what that new F&I process is looking like. It's still the same fundamentals, but now it's being done, virtually, which means we have to even emphasize and over communicate the value way more than we ever have in the past, because you may not have someone sitting across the desk from you and having that closeness, that proximity, where it's like, well, you're here, like the paperwork's there, like we can add this, we can move this around, like you can put, like, you know what I mean? It's like, it was hard enough, I think, for a lot of F&I managers. There's some definitely better than others, right, to build value face to face. Now it's going to have to be screen to screen. Here's my next question for you guys, all right, is how do you see an F&I manager moving into this new norm, all right? What maybe 2 or 3 things could you tell them to help them build value from a screen to screen than maybe a face to face like it used to be? Randy, I'll start with you.
Well, I don't know if we want to give away any of our secrets at this point in time. No, but what on a serious note, though, can we just park that question for 1 second?
Sure.
When did the box start, Jason? What year was that?
Gosh,
See,
I started selling cars in '99, and it was before then. So
right.
When I don't know what I would say, early '90s.
Yeah, I would say at some point. I mean, I know that Coverage One started selling warranty in 1982. And this is before my time working in the dealership, other than a lot boy, but I didn't pay much attention. I was too worried about detail on all the cars. But anyway, so it goes back a ways. So our process has evolved from, let's just call it 1985, 1990. And so it's evolved. Now here it's 220, and everybody has the sales process in the F&I. Now we're in a new normal. So are we going to work together and develop a new sales process, or are we all going to do it individually? You know, I wonder, it would really be nice at a time like this that we all collaborated to make the industry successful. It really would. And I think this type of format that you have going for us here today on this podcast puts us in a setting where we can communicate about how we can make our industry successful, because we need to care about the jobs of everybody out there. We need to care about the industry. We need to care about our economy, because if we're not providing jobs and selling cars, there's going to be that trickle down approach, right? And the industry happens to be a pretty big one. So I would love to find a way for us to get into a group setting, but not the Alcoholics Anonymous setting where we're all sitting there talking as a group, but how can we make and I think it's a very positive group, by the way, so I don't mean to talk negative about that. Here, I'm understanding them on the radio here. Anyway, that's all good. So, but bottom line is, I would like to find a way for us to be successful through a team atmosphere, or through a setting where we could all collaborate together. We like to do that with our dealers. Like Wilson was mentioned earlier, we want to listen. We want to do that, but we want to be able to help. You know, the banks could get together, the dealers could get together, the providers could get together and work as a team instead of individually, right? And we have a lot to add, as the dealer has a lot to add. So what is that process going to be? And now that I've said that preface, you know, we have some ideas. I mean, obviously, a lot of things are going to have to be done through Zoom. They're going to have to be done through, you know, video. Yeah, virtual portals. You know, like you'd mentioned earlier on when we were talking offline, there's a number of different processes by appointment only. A lot of people are afraid to do that. You know, I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm bumping into people. Well, actually not bumping into people, because we're 6 feet apart, but people are standing back. You know, when you see somebody in the grocery store, you almost run down a different aisle, right? So
no, that's
anyway,
true. I mean, maybe you think about this, right? I mean, you bought a car, you deal with a salesperson, right? That salesperson then has to bounce and forth, negotiate the deal between a sales manager. So now I got 2 people involved, right? Then after the sales manager and the salesperson were done with their portion of the process, then the F&I manager had to get involved, right? There are 3 people that had to be involved into a singular purchase. Mm-hmm. So is the question maybe that there isn't 3 people anymore, but there's only 1 person that does it all?
There's the product genius,
right?
That's it. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting question too, because I've thought of it on both sides. Where you've got the 1 person, you've got, like Randy said, the product genius, and then you've got the fact that we've actually, as a society, become more comfortable buying product, it seems, on our own, online, like just directly from Amazon or something like that. I myself, I like dealing with people, but you know, maybe the industry has just gotten a bad rap for, you know, people not getting the right deal or something along those lines, or whatever it is, right? You know, then you've got the lawyer that comes in and wants to negotiate, but, you know, not understanding that margins nowadays are not what they used to be. They're so tight. You know, it's a tough thing. One thing I don't know if the the going to the complete virtual world will be able to do is handle your customer retention the same way, build the relationship the same way.
Well, that's what we're saying.
Are we able
to building that relationship? I mean,
I think
especially now virtually, or over video. To build 3 virtual relationships or
over virtual, that might be very difficult.
Yeah,
I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
You see what I mean?
I do. Yeah.
I mean, guys, like I'm not going to pretend like I got the answer here. I mean, I know we're spitballing a little bit here, but I mean, it seems to make sense right now. Moving into this new norm. That it's hard enough to make 3 physical relationships, right, between a salesperson, a sales manager, and F&I manager. To make 3 different virtual relationships, it's that much more tougher. I think one person needs to handle that customer. And that's my personal opinion. I think one person needs to handle that customer from the point of hello to the point of here's your keys. Randy, what do you think? What's your thoughts?
Well, I love the process to begin with, because when we're in a dealership, the 12 steps, however we're going to follow them, I just a full believer in process and systems. So I think that it can be done 100%. Like Jason, we met this morning on video. Yeah. I feel like I know you, right? Because we do a lot of Zoom within our organization. So I think the relationship can be built very quickly with the right individuals on the screens, and because everybody's going to accept it, but now they just need to get it in the system, because the process really shouldn't have to change a whole lot. The only thing is we're just not going to be standing in front of each other, giving each other a high five or shaking our hands or hugging, but we're still going to be able to communicate really clearly. We can show documents properly through sharing, and through sharing them on our screen. The whole process could probably be handled a whole lot better from the consumer's home and the dealership's
probably a lot
office.
faster too, right?
Oh, wait, hey, you know what? What's really funny about our business, that we're product providers. We drive around, we get in our Toyota Prius, and we drive from one dealer to the next, all across the country in Toronto. Like when I'm in Toronto visiting dealers, Jason, it's hilarious. I get to visit about 2 dealers a day because it takes me that long to get from one to the next, right? So how efficient is that? How much value are we providing those dealers in that territory when we're only seeing 2 or 3 or 4 dealers a day at the most? And then we get there and they're busy because they have a car deal. We can be a whole lot more efficient on Zoom by setting up appointments, having a 20-minute meeting with a whole lot of value. It's so much more efficient. We'll talk about the Toronto Maple Leafs for 5 minutes, build some rapport. Hey, great seeing you. How are your kids? Now, let me tell you what we can do for you today. We're finding our sales team loves that process, and we're migrating towards that instead of driving in the car for all day, and never mind wasting gas, vehicle maintenance, pollution, all those great things. This can become the best system known to mankind. Maybe it's we're just being nudged that way to do this.
Well, it can also provide the best customer service to dealers as well, and clients. I mean, if you flip this onto a dealer perspective, I mean, if you are the one that met, so let's say I met Jason and I was going to sell him a car, and I did, the proper introduction, the rapport building, everything like that. We've made the profit on the car, we made the profit on the finance office, and now the direction I have put Jason in from start to finish, from car sale to finance office, I've been able to build the relationship, build rapport, and also have the full circle approach to know that the product I put him in, from financing, leasing, whatever way you've done it, I've now set up his financing with the F&I products perfectly to feed our service department perfectly, keep Jason happy the entire time he's owned the vehicle. And then again, full circle approach. He comes back. Customer attention is going to be huge these days if our sales circle's shrinking. When he comes back, Jason's happy. His car is fully maintained. It's got all the proper cosmetic programs on it and everything like
Wilson,
that.
I'd even push it one step farther. I'd even replace the service advisor. I'd literally put all 4 roles into one person.
You would, wouldn't you?
Okay.
I would. That's the dealer.
Wow.
That's the dealer operations mind in the background working.
Yeah.
Because then I can employ a smaller team. I know. again, this is just, if I was in the deal world, I'm staring down this big operational nut every single month, and it's just like, I'm like, I need to find a way to not only up my level as far as the customer experience goes, but I also need to find a way to operationally bring my expenses down at a heartbeat. Right. And it's like, if you bought the car from the same person, went through the F&I process with the same person, and then every time you needed your vehicle service, you came in and talked to that person about the service vehicle. I mean, don't you think retention efforts will go through the freaking roof with that? I mean, yes, that one person won't be able to do as many transactions, all right, but how they're able to manage that relationship, over the entire ownership of the vehicle is incredibly high. And it's like my overall retention, I think, goes through the roof.
Yeah, you're bang on, actually. I mean, do you think, yes, he won't be able to do as many transactions, but he could collect a bit from every department. So, I mean, the pay can still be there.
That's
right?
what I'm saying. The pay still can be there.
He can still make, exactly, the commission can still be there. Now, but he's also going to have that vested interest of, you know what, Jason, you're about 18 months into your lease, or you're 24 months into your lease, 36 months. Hey, let's look at swapping you out, right? I mean, the current service world, there's very few advisors that will walk somebody over to the sales department and go, hey, this guy, it's time to look at something else, right? Most of the time they go, let's just sell service and push them out the door.
It's kind of interesting when we look at the subprime, the non-prime world, where that salesperson,
that's normal,
right?
That is normal.
That's normal. They find the car, they sell the car, they sell the finance office products, they follow up, they have quite a system, and they don't need to sell 30 cars a month.
And the retention rate's huge.
It's massive
because you're tracking them. You're building a nice credit portfolio for that consumer, and you're going to try to bring them back between 12 to 18 months. And you've taken good care of them. You've helped them rebuild their credit. Let's get you out of that vehicle, get you into a new one, and get you down to at least 9.99% financing. And that relationship can be so strong if it's handled professionally with integrity and the whole 9 yards, right?
Well, we work with.
I mean, I'm not sure if that's the right model, but I'm just saying that I think there is a model there that people should be exploring as far as what the new norm looks like. Now, let's say people are listening to us and they're going, "Wow, you guys are a bunch of whack jobs here. Like, are you kidding me? You want me to take 4 of my employees and shove them into one person?" And it's like, no, right? Okay, so let's say they are going to stick with their normal 4. Okay, then now it's about over communications. We touched on it a little bit already when we were talking about Zoom, but I'm just thinking like what that new sales process looks like is that when you have that Zoom call, you have the salesperson on, you have the F&I manager on, and you have the sales manager on, all in the same call, just like here we are. We got 3 people, 1 call. It's like we're all having that conversation together. So any question that is going to be asked can immediately be answered. What do you guys thoughts about that? About bringing the entire team together to have the conversation with one customer? Randy, I'll start with yourself.
I think, like you said, it's a real interesting concept that you have. Product knowledge is huge. Become a salesperson, you have to have a ton of product knowledge to sell a car. I can't imagine how these guys retain everything that they need to know about a vehicle. Now we need to teach them about finance office products and understand the life and disability terms and conditions contract. Now we need to teach them all about service. It seems to be a very overwhelming training concept. I think that is it feasible? Sure it is, with an amazing training system. I think what need to happen is you'd have to have an amazing training system, amazing coaching system, and you need some serious video. It might be a good business to get into instead of your beer kit. Maybe we should start a video production company right now.
Well, the good thing is I have one, so it's the advantage.
He's one step ahead of us
9
already.
Videographers on staff.
Gee, nice.
Well, we do a lot of video production for dealerships. I mean, we produced a little over 800 videos last year for dealerships, and this year, up until everything just kind of paused, we were already on track to double that. Dealerships are embracing video, but they're embracing it more as a marketing tool, not necessarily a communications tool. And I think that's where the opportunity is going to be moving forward, is that it's not just a marketing tool, but video is going to be a huge communications tool. Now, with that said, and this will lead me into my next question, is, and you guys tell me if this doesn't change or not, right? But does our communication efforts change now because I don't have the person face to face? I'm now screen to screen. Wilson, I'll start with you on that one.
Yeah, I think it changes, but for the better. Oh, yeah.
I think you keep going. I think you just stepped up.
Oh, I think you said 1 minute.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I had my window open. And I literally had some kids outside, like going up and down the street with.
Oh, that's okay. I paused. Yeah. So I think it. Do our communication efforts change? Yeah, absolutely. I think that now that there is that commitment from on the virtual world, you're going to have actually more attention from the customer, and I feel that the customer is going to be actually a little bit more loyal to the dealer or the person selling, as far as committing time to actually speak with you. When we're following up with customers in the past and whatnot, it's pretty common. You're going to get their voicemail or something like that, right? They hit the auto ignore, but you're setting a communication appointment via Zoom. One thing I find is that when we're communicating with our dealers via Zoom, the meeting is so efficient. It's so focused, and you're getting a protected time. It's faster. Yeah. And the value you're getting out of it is so much better. I mean, even myself, when I was in a dealer world and, I've got either a vendor coming and sitting at my desk, and I've got sales guys walking back and forth and coming in, and they're going, it's just the normal. Oh yeah. Come in, I'll sign the deal here, get out of here. I'll get back to you. Sorry. Sorry. It took 5 minutes.
Yeah. When's the pro pack going to be done? Where's the keys to this car? Right.
But when I was on a video call with whether it's Volkswagen or whoever, it was always like, doors closed, leave me alone, I'll be out in 30 minutes sort of thing. I think you're going to get that same response out of a customer now. Like we're all glued to our phones. We're glued to our smart devices nonstop. Like it's just something we like doing. We like FaceTiming people. We like having conversations.
You know what, Wilson, that's a really good point. I mean, we're going to now, because we're forced to communicate, screen to screen versus face to face, that we're going to be hyper focused. How many times have you seen a person buying a car in a dealership and like the F&I manager is going over some paperwork with them and they're just doing one of these?
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I don't need that.
Next thing you know, they're going, wait, I didn't say yes to this stuff.
Wait, what the hell? How's this car $10,000 more than what I said?
Bad Google review, all those things, right? And I don't understand. Where can I claim this? Totally.
So Jason, I don't think the communication's going to change. You know what I think needs to change is the mindset.
Elaborate on that.
Because like some of our sales representatives right now are contacting dealers, reaching out, because we didn't go to the bed and put the covers over our head. We're continuing to do business as much as we can. So we're contacting our dealers. Our dealers are going, well, we're not set up to do Zoom. What's Zoom? And no offense to any of those dealers out there, they just haven't, the need was not there. So I think what has to happen, it has to become part of the process. The system, the tool itself has to become a part of the process, because we're there to assist. We're set up with Zoom. We're set up with video. We're going to continue to go that way to provide the support. Now, the dealers who are behind on this type of technology, which really isn't technology, it's just screen video. It's a FaceTime, basically, just call something.
It's been around for a long time.
Time.
Well, you got to get a camera.
Guys, I remember, and I'm sorry to interrupt real quick, but I remember when Skype first came out, and it was a while ago. I don't think people realize how old Skype is. I actually posted on our dealership's website a Skype experience, which I actually let people Skype. And of course, then it was just, I only had just the webcam, right? Like that wasn't able to walk out with my phone at that point yet. That's how old Skype is. But I was able to talk to them directly. I mean, this was 12, 13 years ago. You're right, to your point.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I apologize. Randy, get back to your mindset, because I think that's super important.
Yeah, I just think it's going to have to be a bit of a culture change. It's going to have to be this is what we need to do, ladies and gentlemen. We need to get everybody set up with camera. We need to get everybody a Zoom account. We need to go through some product training. We need to go through some Zoom etiquette, and we're just going to need to get comfortable in front of a camera. We're comfortable in front of a camera. We do it all the time. Right.
You know what else I
right
noticed?
Now, I'm extremely comfortable.
That's going to be amazing that's going to come of this is, I mean, you look at the top left corner right now, we're recording.
Right.
So we want, quality control. We want accountability. We want, those times where you're at the dealer and you're like, I wish I could listen in on exactly what this conversation went like or something like that. Because, there's the he said, she said situations and things like that. It's going to be all there. It's going to be recorded. The quality is going to be better.
Good point. Transparency is going to be required now.
Transparency is going to be boom. The experience is going to be better. Everything is going to come together. And I mean, even if you think of an issue with a car or something that a customer can't figure out, in the past, I'm always used to, pick up the phone and trying to walk them through how to set up their Bluetooth or something like that because they got a new phone. And then it usually ends up, you know what, why don't you just come into the dealer? I'll get it set up for you versus, hey, FaceTime me quick, show me what you're seeing, and I'll walk you through this. Like the efficiency of what would happen from a dealer to a client or a consumer, those efficiencies can happen in our world too, as a warranty provider and for a dealer, in current world, or I guess past world now, past situation before, we were bringing all the finance manager, taking them out of their office to do training and put them in a group setting, and then we'll do training. Like now we can hop on a Zoom. The dealer incurs no expense. There's, we can do them more frequently. You can have 30-minute sessions, boom, 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 making sure these, the customer experience, the best practice, everything like that is all discussed upon a group. You can almost have your mini 20 group meetings, but just F&I roundtable.
Actually, I think 20 group meetings will actually be better over this than they will be, because I'll tell you, I've been to a lot of 20 group meetings, and again, this is what the 20 group meetings look like.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. My dealership does that too.
Yeah.
Like they just sit there exactly, their damn phones half the time, right? Okay, no, look, guys, I know we're getting towards the tail end of our time today, but I'm with you. I mean, I think we're going to see increased transparency during this new norm, or when we enter into this new norm, we're going to see increased transparency. We're going to see, I think, hyper involved, right, communication efforts. Like again, we're not going to be sidetracked. It's really going to be focused into it. I think that with that said, that we're going to have to over communicate pretty much everything we do, especially from a prospect's perspective. Like the deal, like we can't just show somebody something. We have to tell them, like, here's what's going to happen next. Here's what's going to happen next. Here's what's going to happen next. And we're going to have to get comfortable being in front of a camera. Since we're not there in person, like. 80% of what we say doesn't come out in the words that we say, but it comes out in our expressions and our eye contact, and all of that is going to be super important. I was on a Zoom call this morning, and the guy wasn't even staring at the he was like, again, doing, because it was obvious, right? He was doing one of these, staring at his phones. It's like, yo, dude, are you even paying attention to us right now? Like, what's going on? When you're in front of a camera, you have to do that. Guys, I know we're at the tail end. I want to thank you so much for your time today. This was a lot of fun, and I'm confident we could probably easily go another hour here.
Yeah, I think so.
But before we sign off, though, for everybody that's listening and watching right now and would love to connect with you guys and learn more about what you guys are doing, what is the best way to do so? Randy, I'll start with you.
Well, you can go to yourwarrantyteam.com. And you go to our team and you scroll down, and every one of us are available through our email, which would be our first name, like Randy@yourwarrantyteam.com. Everybody's telephone number is listed on our website as well. There's also info@yourwarrantyteam.com. And how else can you get a hold of us, Wilson?
Yeah, we also have a live chat feature, and coming soon, I would say probably within the next week or two, we'll have the availability to book in with one of us online. You can book a 15-minute discovery session right on our webpage, and we can have a great chat and find out how we can help.
Awesome. Hey guys, thanks again for your time today. That was a lot of fun.
It was.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Jason.
Thanks guys. Have a good one.
Yeah, you have a great day.